We had an awesome question come in about cervical orgasms after a hysterectomy. And we get a lot of questions that come in from uterus owners and vulva owners about whether or not they can have orgasms, cervical orgasms, vaginal orgasms, uterine orgasms, all of that stuff after hysterectomy. So the first thing is all of that depends on the type of hysterectomy that you've had. If you've had a full hysterectomy, a partial hysterectomy, if your cervix is left intact, if your cervix was removed, etc., etc. If you don't have those actual physical organs there, then you're not going to be able to have that specific orgasm. So if you don't have a cervix anymore, then you're not going to be having a cervical orgasm specifically. That being said, it's very important to be aware that the uterus and the cervix are both triple innervated. So the uterus and the cervix are innervated by the hypogastric, the pelvic, and the vagus nerve. And although there will be nerve damage in that area, as there is anytime the body is punctured or traumatized or opened, that's going to traumatize that area and potentially damage those nerves. And also, depending on the surgeon and if the type of hysterectomy that they performed was one that consciously left the pelvic and hypogastric nerves intact in that area, the amount and your ability to feel how much sensation you will be able to restore after the surgery is going to depend upon the type of surgery that you have. But keeping in mind that there are three major nerve pathways, the hypogastric, pelvic, and vagus nerve, that innervate the uterus and the cervix. So chances are there are still some nerve pathways available in that area that you can work with to regenerate, to heal, and to restore sensation. But where my expertise really comes in is with Tantra and the energy body. So the most important thing for me to remember with all of this is that the energy body is senior to the physical body. So what that means is that the energy body forms before the physical body forms. The physical body is a manifestation of the energy body. And in fact, in Tibetan embryology, the central channel, which is the core of the life force energy in the body, is the first thing to form. The physical body and the rest of the energy body form after the central channel is formed. That's the first thing to develop, to host the human consciousness. So, with that understanding, when it comes to healing and repair and restoration after any type of injury or trauma, the first place I go is working directly with the energy body to heal, to repair, to nourish, to enrich, to bolster, and increase the available energy in the energy body, which will then often catalyze and translate into physical healing or the healing of physical symptoms. So for example, I'm working with, personally in my life right now, I'm working with a fibroid, and I am applying the energy body medicine of Tibetan 5-element Tantra, the energy body medicine of yoni yoga and jade egg, or actually I'm using an obsidian egg exercise, and other Vajrayana Tantra practices to dissolve and release karmic and spirit energy in my body. So I'm working directly with the energy body to causate a physical result, to create a healing on the physical level. And thus far, my therapies and my prescriptions are working splendidly. The symptoms are decreasing, more flow, more openness, more sensation. So there is, by working specifically with the energy body and the energy body yogas that I practice and teach, there is a return and a restoration and a physical symptoms of healing and liberation from that particular type of suffering, from that particular manifestation of illness. That particular manifestation of illness is dissolving and decreasing as I increase my energy body yoga practice. So I'm sharing that as an example of the efficacy of working with energy body yoga practices in order to antidote or address physical, I don't want to say dysfunctions, physical, when things aren't working physically the way you would like them to, right? So specifically in relationship to hysterectomy, and orgasm, any type of surgery, any type of injury, any type of trauma to the body is going to require rehabilitation on the physical level. It's also going to require rehabilitation on the energy body level. And the energy body is something that we have direct control of. It's something that we can work with directly and effectively to increase and enhance the results that we see physically. That's what I love so much about Tantra, and specifically Tibetan 5-element Tantra, is that it gives me codes to work directly with my energy body and directly with each of the organ systems that are governed with each of those elements, so that if I'm having an issue or a deficiency or an impediment or a block or an illness in that organ or in that area, I can diagnose it through the systems of the 5 elements and the other 8 primary causes of illness, and then address and treat it accordingly. So for those of you who have had hysterectomies and would like to experience sensation again, increase sensation, increase pleasure, restore sensation, restore pleasure to the capacity that you are able to, highly recommend several therapies. And so I'm going to list them out for you. So number 1, working directly with your energy body, whether it's with Tibetan 5-element Tantra or whether it's with whatever, energy body system, healing system. Had a little pause there. So working with an energy body yoga system that you feel aligned with. So for me, that's Tibetan 5-element Tantra and other Vajrayana Tantra practices. For you, it may be something different. So working with an energy body yoga system that you feel aligned with, number 1. Number 2, physical yoga practices. So again, working with your pelvic floor exercises, working with yoni yoga. I highly recommend working with a gemstone. As I said before, I'm working specifically with obsidian to help remove curse and sorcery energy from my pussy. Because there was an accumulation. So I'm working specifically with an obsidian egg, working with jade eggs or rose quartz. Again, you can get guidance along this from an expert that you trust, or my favorite expert is my own body. That's my favorite expert. So when I'm going to choose a stone or choose a method or methodology to practice with, I really tune in to whether it's a yes or no in my body, in my soma. So working with jade or yoni egg practices, and then your sexual pleasure in yoni massage. Y'all, like not all yoni massages are the same, and I don't know what other people are doing out there and calling yoni massage, because I'm not doing that, but I will tell you that the yoni massage that we teach through the Institute, whether it's solo or partner, was developed through hours and hours and hours and hours of practice on my own body, and then partners working with me. So the methods that we teach through the Institute have been cultivated and developed, number 1, on my own body, and then taught to other people for anecdotal research, so that we could then get the results and see what the benefits are if they extended beyond just me. And guess what they do? These yoni massages are designed to be medicine, and they have several stages to them. And the number 1 stage is preparing your body, your mind, your spirit, and your heart for pleasure, right? So the preparation is part of it, cultivating presence is part of it, working with the elemental energies through and with the yoni massage is part of it, and then just the somatic sexual healing practice method of using touch, breath, pleasure, and awareness to release pain and trauma, and then to bring energy into that area. Because if we're talking about hysterectomy, and we're talking about the removal of organs and the regeneration of the energy body there, and potentially the regeneration of some of the pathways there, the nerve pathways there, it takes energy. It requires energy. And one of the most efficient ways of generating energy is through sexual pleasure, whether that sexual pleasure is with yourself or with a partner. Y'all, like truly, I invite you to really be mindful in your self-pleasure and your masturbation practice, and notice how you feel before and how you feel after. And notice what areas of your body open up and awaken with pleasure during your self-pleasure practice. There's amazing currents of pleasure that open up for us in our bodies and our wind channels while we're cultivating pleasure. it truly is the most magnificent technology. Like, we as human beings were created with the most magnificent technology so that our sexual pleasure and bliss is literally healing. It literally opens up pathways, energy movement pathways, wind pathways, neural pathways in our body and our mind to help us access more spiritual bliss. That's fucking amazing. That's amazing technology. So if you've had a hysterectomy, I'm just going to start with, if you've had a hysterectomy, yes, you can cultivate more sensation and more pleasure and more juicy awesomeness. I can't make any guarantees about what that's going to look like for you, but I can tell you from my own experience and having taught this to multiple thousands, literally thousands of yoni, vulva, uterus owners around the world who have reported results that yes, there are tangible increases in pleasure, in sensation, in connection to your body, release and liberation from sufferings. Like, this shit works. And what we need to do is we have to engage in the practice. But our practice is pleasure, right? We have to consciously engage in pleasure as a mindfulness practice. Pleasure is a mindfulness practice. So that's what I'm going to recommend for you in relationship to restoring sensation for all of us, specifically for those of you who have had a hysterectomy and maybe for that reclamation. And then all of us yoni owners who are going through our own stages of healing and growth, all the different stages of life, whether we're fertile or menopausal or wherever we are on our journey. Having a rooted, anchored practice that allows us to use pleasure as a tool for reclamation and healing is vital for our well-being. So highly recommend it. If y'all are interested in training with the Institute, we do have a program for yoni owners called the Female Orgasm Intensive. I made that many, many years ago as a way to, as a guide, literally as a video guide to walk you step by step through the process that I use to heal and liberate my body, mind, spirit, and sex from trauma and overwhelm from various sources in my life. So Female Orgasm Intensive, that is on our website, authentictantra.com. So you can check that out. And always, 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 whether you're training with us or somebody else, really just the guidance is always, and my recommendation and advice is always to always work with those experts and instructors and teachers that really resonate with your spirit and who you really feel aligned with. And you don't have to agree with everything that we say. I don't expect everyone to agree. I don't even agree with everything I say all the time, right? But really, when you're searching for methods and methodologies that are going to help you and heal you and increase the value of your life, increase the benefit and the well-being and the awesomeness of your life experience, really encourage you to look for and align with and receive instructions from teachers that really meet your needs for presence, connection, authenticity, kindness, compassion, who you feel safe and who you feel supported with. That's the most important thing for your healing journey. So anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble again. I'll be here most Tuesdays talking with you, answering your questions, which I absolutely love. Hope you have a wonderful day. Peace and blessings. Talk to you later.